Hello everybody, today I'm doing an unboxing of my Pro Mermaid Workbook, the new and improved version. One of my last videos, I opened it up and it was just a proof copy, but I ended up having to make some changes to it and I added a lot of stuff. So I just got my new author copy and oh no, it got dented! No! No! I don't know if you can, yeah, you can tell, look. That's not good. That makes me sad. It's a little bit bigger than the last one. I added some pages. Now has a table of contents. So let's go through it page by page, and if you want to purchase one if you're a professional mermaid or aspiring professional mermaid, I will put a link below. So page 1, table of contents. Introduction, a section to write about your persona. And then there's a section to write a little backstory about your mertender, like how you know them, like are they a sailor that found you. Then we have some challenges such as hold your breath, make silly faces, do a dance, practice posing. More challenges, then it brings you to the kids' questions and answers, where we have the first one is, how did you get to this party if you don't have legs? Write down a few answers. That's to prepare you for when kids ask you a million questions. And then there's some example answers such as, I turned into a human and walked from the ocean. That was a really long walk. Do you have any pets in the ocean? I have a fish named Bubbles. Blah, blah, blah. Some more questions and answers. There's a decent amount of questions with answers. And that brings you to design your dream tale. So you get to get creative and do some coloring and design how you want your dream tale to look. Then we have some story prompts, because sometimes kids want to hear little stories about ocean life. So for example, there's a story prompt, write a story about being captured by pirates. I give little example stories that I wrote them all myself. Give you some ideas and you can use the stories if you want. I think there's like 10 pages or so. We've got some ocean fun facts, such as male seahorses are the ones who carry and give birth to their babies, or the ocean covers 70% of the earth, or an octopus has 3 hearts. There's a couple pages of fun facts, then there's a section to write your own fun facts if you do some research. Then there's the what would you do section, which includes scenarios such as one of your accessories breaks, or a kid says you're not a real mermaid and you have to write down how you would handle that situation. And then there's a section to write down things that you would put in your treasure chest if you bring one, because I suggest having a little treasure chest with like toys and props and things. That's good for a mermaid to have. And then we've got some manifesty type stuff like visualization exercise, where you just kind of imagine yourself being a professional mermaid and you imagine the gig and you try to see it in your mind, and you know. And then there's affirmations to tell yourself before a gig, such as, I am a magical mermaid and I make parties more fun. I am brave and confident and I won't let my nerves hold me back. Or I am going to crush this gig. Then there's some journal prompts. They are meant to keep you in the right mindset, get you thinking about why you want what you want and how you can achieve it, and you know. So the first one is, why do you want to be a professional mermaid? And then there's, if you start making really good money as a professional mermaid, how will you use it? Or what are your biggest strengths? Then there's some mermaid vocab such as dolphinitely, celebrate, fantastic, shallow, and shellphone. And there's 2 lines to write down a little sentence that a professional mermaid might say. And then there's a vision board where you can just, if you want, you can draw little pictures of things that you want. You can write down words that inspire you, words of, you know, things that you want, paste pictures there. And then we have some jokes such as, what is the best kind of ship? Friendship. Or, what kind of fish says meow? A catfish. So those are fun things you can add to a gig. And that's pretty much all the training kind of stuff. Now we have an expense tracker, where basically anytime you purchase something related to mermaiding, maybe a new tail, maybe a new accessory or whatever, you can write it down and keep track of how much money you spend on gigs and stuff. And then there's the gig log pages, where basically you have a gig and you get to like write about how it went, what you would do differently, some highlights, the day, and then that kind of helps you keep track of those things. And then the last section is extra journal pages. They're just blank journal pages where you can, write down your to-do list, write down your dreams, write down ideas, whatever you want. So that is my Pro Mermaid Workbook. It's just a training resource for new and aspiring professional mermaids. I've been a professional mermaid for 7 years now, so I do feel qualified to release this, and I hope you guys are interested in it. There is a link in the description below. And that is all for this video. I will see you in my next one. Bye-bye.